Let's have a look at the directories present in a Magento installation. The first directory I would like to point you to is the directory app etc. It contains global application configuration, and quite a lot of important information can be found there. For example, in the env.php file, we have the database connection credentials. So next we have the bin directory. The bin directory contains command line tools. Well, usually just one, but it could be more. Then we have the dev directory, which contains many tests and development related tools, also for continuous integration and such. Then there's a generated code directory, which contains generated code, big surprise. But until Magento 2.2.2, this directory was found in the var directory as var generated. So if you are working with an older Magento installation, you might find that directory there. Then there's the lib directory. The lib directory contains third-party and internal libraries. Nowadays it's mostly used for some JavaScript libraries. Then there's the PHP server directory, which gives us the option to run Magento with the PHP built-in web server just for development, but to be honest, I don't know anybody who actually uses this, at least not that I'm aware of. It's pretty slow. Then there's the pub directory, which is the web-based entry points for web requests. And in there, I want to point out two additional directories, mainly pub static, which is used for, well, static assets. So CSS, JavaScript, images, web fonts, and so on. And then there's also pub media. Pub media contains all the images and PDFs and so on that are related to catalog products and categories, but also content management system media elements are in there. So basically anything that gets uploaded through the Magento admin UI. Setup and update contain code that are related to the installation and to, well, updates. And then there's the var directory. The var directory is an ephemeral directory, so anything inside of it could be removed without really harming Magento. It will be recreated as needed. In here we have the default cache storage, var cache and var page cache for the full page cache. And then there's a var log, which is the default location for Magento log statements. And the Composer home directory, which contains the auth JSON file with your keys to the Magento package repository for Composer. And sessions. View preprocessed contains temporary compilations for view-related files. So every once in a while, you'll have to remove some of these files or directories in here to get things moving again. And then there's the vendor directory. The vendor directory contains all the packages that are installed by Composer, either directly or as third-party dependencies. And in here, in vendor Magento, we also find all the Magento code. So this is basically, well, Magento. In here we have the framework, which is a huge package. And then we have a lot of modules. So anything from here down to here are all the community edition modules. Well, Magento open source as it's called now. Then we have a bunch of language packs and we have themes. So modules, themes, and language packs are the main Magento related type of packages that are installed. So we'll be spending a lot of time in here looking at Magento core code. Right, and finally, let's have a look at two more directories in app. There's app code. This directory might be missing if you have a new installation. Doesn't matter, you can just create it. And it's the place to develop custom modules and custom code, usually. And then there's app design, which contains custom themes. So many of these directories don't really factor a lot into the day-to-day work of a Magento developer. Most of our time is spent working within modules or within themes. So a module is the packaging unit within Magento for some functionality or maybe some customization. And the next video will discuss the directory structure within the Magento module.